Tonight from Switzerland, Adrien Chakatete is the referee, and that's Jorge Sampaoli, the coach of Chile, who really has got them back on track. They were a very impressive side to watch under Marcelo Bielsa, and he's got them playing in a similar way. They currently sit third in the qualifying in the South American section for Brazil. They've only lost one competitive match since Sampaoli came in, and he's given them their identity back, but this represents a big test for them tonight against the European and World Champions, a team who have always beaten Chile whenever they've played, including that match in South Africa in the group stage, as Spain went on to win the World Cup a couple of summers ago. Here's Medel, the Cardiff player. Plays as a midfielder in the Premier League, but he's centre-back in this Chile side, so interesting to see, Steve, just how he copes with that kind of role in the team. Here's Eugenio Mena, and that's steered behind. First corner of the game, below with the challenge.
Yeah, it's good to see Alexis Sánchez get on the ball early. Darren run at a couple of the Spanish midfielders. I think he's got a big part to play tonight. He's only playing a bit part at Barcelona. He hasn't been as impressive as you'd like him to be, but he's normally very impressive in the Chilean shirt.
Corner to be taken by Marcelo Diaz, who plays his club football in Switzerland for FC Basel. Not the best of deliveries. Pizarro back out towards the corner taker Diaz, and that's a comfortable take for Victor Valdés. A rare opportunity for the Barcelona goalkeeper to win an international cap tonight. Hard to dislodge, isn't he, Casillas?
Yeah, he is, and it was a big surprise, really, the fact that Casillas did play the other day, having not played in the league for Real Madrid. And Del Bosque taking a chance, because Victor Valdés' form in the league has been very good. But as you rightly said, and as Iker Casillas is known, he's not known as Saint Iker for nothing in the Spanish regime, so he plays.
Well, his 150th cap, Casillas, against Finland in Helsinki on Friday, was presented with a golden ball to commemorate that before the kick-off, but it's Valdés who starts the match, and we are expected to see Napoli's Pepe Reina as well during the course of the evening. There's an interception by Sergio Ramos. It's given away by Albiol. Gonzalo Yara, the Nottingham Forest player. Pedro muscled off it unfairly by Pizarro.
You see, they like to press the ball, don't they? Chile, as you rightly said, the new manager's taken after Marcelo Bielsa, the way he likes to play.
It's Cazorla, back to Nacho Monreal, forward by Ramos, and then back out to the Arsenal man again. Cazorla just caught in possession there. Not started with the usual fluidity, Spain. Chile are quick into the tackle. Really was a feature of their play in the World Cup under Bielsa. The fact that they get in the opposition's faces and then try and attack as quick as they can when they get the ball back. Here's Pizarro with a little bit of time. It was sloppy. Here's Xavi. Now Pedro. Two Barcelona players combined, and now Arbeloa. Xavi, who never seems to give the ball away. Javi Garcia, though, caught in possession. Very quick, though, to get men behind the ball, Spain, and now they'll try and break. Slight change of role in this Spanish team for Cesc Fàbregas tonight. Played slightly further up the pitch against Finland in the World Cup qualifier on Friday, but due to the changes, and we don't expect quite a few of them, it's a slight change of role for Fàbregas, who has been very much in the starting lineup for Barcelona in the early weeks of the La Liga season, despite the link with Manchester United in the summer. Here's Xavi. Yara gives the ball away. Javi Garcia can't find a red shirt. Here's Pizarro. Now it's with Eduardo Vargas. Vidal of Juventus, who's winning his 50th cap tonight. And then played by Pizarro into the space towards Marcelo Diaz. Might find its way through. I think the flag might have been raised. It is. No, it's not. The flag stays down. And it's tucked in by Vargas. And it's the perfect possible start for Chile. The Spanish defence completely stopped. Victor Valdés was appealing for the offside. And Vargas didn't wait for a second invitation. And he puts Chile ahead.
Yeah, and to be honest, Chile have been much the dangerous side, haven't they? Spain have started the game really, really slowly. Very lethargic, giving the ball away, and they've been punished. And this was a poor defensive goal, you can see. There you go, clear as day. It's Sergio Ramos playing him onside Vargas. I don't know why he's got his hands up in the air. Sergio Ramos can see, he's so deep. And look, a very relaxed finish by Vargas, because even he thinks he's offside. Victor Valdés thought, what a strange goal, but indicative of the way the Spanish side have started the game.
So Eduardo Vargas, who scored against Venezuela in the World Cup qualifier on Friday, has made it 2 goals in 2 internationals for Chile. And they lead the world champions with a goal that will infuriate Vicente Del Bosque, particularly bearing in mind that first and foremost his defence was completely sliced open by the Chile attack, and then his players just completely stopped playing and allowed Vargas just to stick it into the corner of the net and give Chile the best possible start. Let's see how Spain respond. Usually pretty good at that kind of thing. Ramos was the culprit, as Steve pointed out. He was the deepest lying Spanish defender. It's played forward towards Pedro. Couldn't keep hold of the ball, but whistle's gone. Santi Cazorla with the foul on Mauricio Isla, one of 2 Juventus players in this Chile side. Vidal, the midfield player, the other one.
Yeah, I think he just stands on his legs. There it is. Slightly theatrical by Isla, but it was a foul. But they've started the game really, really well, Chile. Real good tempo. Yes, it's a friendly match today. They've travelled some distance, but really good start by them.
Spain finding it hard to find some space in the early stages. That's another misplaced pass, this time by Cazorla. Very unlike Spain, the way they've started. Surprised that Del Bosque's just had a wander to the edge of the coaching area to have a word. Here's Marcos Gonzalez, who plays for the Flamenco club in Brazil. Another one of the goal scorers in the 3-0 win against Venezuela on Friday. Very confident start made by Chile. This time Vidal is offside, although he's the man who kept his flag down for the goal, and he made the right decision. Don't often see Sergio Ramos that sloppy at the back for Spain.
And here, this was very close. If anything, Vidal just goes too early. Albiol and Sergio Ramos. Yes, they were together there, but they don't look the safest pairing.
You can see the game plan of Chile. Whenever Spain get the ball, they're very quickly in their faces, closing down the space and not allowing Spain to play that tiki-taka that they like to do to get the rhythm in their passing. Very well organised, this Chile team. Here's Soldado. A couple of penalties so far in the Premier League for Tottenham. It's a shot that's hit from the edge of the penalty area by Pedro and dragged just wide. Better that from Spain, but the glum look from Del Bosque says it all. Yeah,
he's like that when he's happy though, Darren. He was like that when he won the World Cup. Vicente, but better movement, yeah, quick passing. Fàbregas lays in Pedro turned shot, just pulled it wide. But I think teams now are starting to work out Spain, aren't they? They know. They looked at the Confederations Cup final, they saw how aggressive Brazil were, the high intensity game they played, and a lot of the teams now are starting to put pressure on the Spanish players.
That might be the case, Steve, but that's the only match they've lost in the last 29, Spain. That 3-0 defeat against Brazil in the Confederations Cup final. And they've rebounded with a couple of successes without conceding a goal. It's going to be interesting to see whether they can go all the way through to the final in Brazil. Here's Xavi. Just get the feeling that Spain has started to settle. Fàbregas. Arbeloa will come forward from right back. Here's Albiol. Ramos back to the Napoli defender. Fàbregas looking to get on the ball with a bit more regularity. Here's Nacho, Monreal. Vidal with the challenge. Good player, isn't he, Vidal? When you see him playing Serie A for Juventus, he can dominate games at the very highest level.
Yeah, I think but there didn't seem much wrong with that challenge. Maybe he's gone in with 2 feet, I think. Didn't look that much wrong with it.
There's Alexis Sánchez. They certainly know an awful lot about him. And he's won his side a free kick. Really came to prominence, didn't he, Alexis Sánchez, in the World Cup in South Africa, who's far and away Chile's best player, got in the big money move to the new camp.
Yeah, immensely talented player. But I don't think we've seen the best of him, to be very honest, in the Barcelona shirt. He scored a few goals, but I don't think he's as influential as he is in a Chile shirt.
17 goals in what is now his 60th appearance for his country tonight, Alexis Sánchez. And it's Chile with this 1-0 lead given to them sloppily as far as the Spanish team are concerned by Eduardo Vargas, but you just get the impression Spain are starting to purr a little bit through midfield. Here's Pedro. Nacho, Monreal. Now Cazorla to Xavi. Lots of white shirts behind the ball though when Spain come forward.
Yeah, very organised, Darren, you're right, very organised, and even in this situation there.
There's a chance for Xavi to strike one. It's a block just inside the penalty area by Marcos Gonzalez. First time we've seen Xavi get forward.
Yeah, and they'll have to. Look at that ball. It's, you know, Roberto Soldado, it's difficult. Yes, it's fallen to Xavi quite luckily, really, but somebody has to help Soldado out.
Spain have sent Javi Garcia into the penalty area. Nacho, Monreal as well for their first corner, which is headed away. Still not fully clear, but they did lap nicely there, did Chile. I think they'd like the free kick as well. And Mania it was who conceded the Spanish throw. Sampaoli not happy with the challenge.
You see he's very vocal on the sidelines there, Sampaoli. Know what it means to win this game this evening.
Xavi towards Soldado. Now here's Fàbregas. Fàbregas again, opening up for Spain. Good defending in the end by Chile. Now Nacho Monreal with a chance to cross. Pedro just unable to latch onto that, and Alexis Sánchez can bring it away. And that's a good ball in field and played first time by Vidal, who was looking for the run of Eduardo Vargas. And Arbeloa just managed to read the situation for Spain. Spain have won all 4 previous meetings between the two nations, including a 3-2 success the last time they played, which was February 2011. Cesc Fàbregas got a couple of goals that night, but it is usually a match that provides us with goals. Very rarely see Spain involved in a poor match. Here's Pedro. Plenty of options here as well for the Barcelona player. Just overruns it though. And what looked to be a promising situation results in a goal kick to Chile.
Here's the goal. Lovely little finish by Vargas. It's the Gareth Bale celebration as well, wasn't it, with the heart?
Oh, they'll all be doing that now.
They'll have to pay him though, he's got a trademark, doesn't he, I think.
Here's Marcelo Diaz. to Gonzalez. Pizarro to Gary Medel, and now Alexis Sánchez. Alexis Sánchez has continued his run. Valdes alive to the situation. Now here's space for Pedro for Spain. Went for goal himself when he got both Cazorla and Soldado in a better position. Might get a second chance here, Pedro. Now Fàbregas. Balance of possession now shifting Spain's way after a bright start by Chile. Xavi. Javi Garcia. It's the same problem though, Steve.
Yeah.
When they get forward, they get them behind the ball, Chile, and they're very difficult to break down.
It is, Darren, you're right. You know, Spain broke, Pedro broke, didn't he? But suddenly, it was the Chilean defence getting organised, and there wasn't many Spanish shirts helping out. They do need to pick up the tempo a little bit more, the Spanish side.
Well, they're a team in form, Chile. They've won their last 4 competitive games against Venezuela, Paraguay, Bolivia and Uruguay. And they're unbeaten 2 in their last 6 friendlies, including a 2-2 draw against Brazil in Belo Horizonte back in April. So they might be one of those teams come the World Cup finals next summer who might go into the tournament under the radar and cause a surprise or two. Certainly being used to the conditions as well, which will be a real test for the European sides. I can't remember a time when I've seen Spain this wasteful with the ball.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That was Xavi's turn that time, and normally never associate Xavi with kicking the ball out of play. It's quite a sloppy performance. There's Vicente again giving out his orders, and you can imagine what those orders are.
It's quite a record he's got, Del Bosque. This is the 80th game in charge of Spain tonight, and he's won 65 of the previous 79. 5 La Liga titles as a player with Real Madrid, a couple as the coach as well. And he really was able to take control of Spain and take them to the next level. Never cracked a smile, but they tell me he enjoys the job.
I have seen him smile once or twice. And funnily enough, when he won the last league title with Real Madrid as manager, he was subsequently sacked the next day. Because I was there at the time. Terrible. Well, he was subsequently sacked the night of the game, which was appalling. So I'm really glad that he's gone on to bigger and better things with the Spanish national team. He's a lovely guy and deserves it.
Forward by Pizarro. Sánchez and now Pizarro. Gonzalo Yara. There's Diaz. Yara's seen plenty of it early on, and he finds Diaz again. The run made here by Mania. Trapped by Alvaro Arbeloa. Little nutmeg by Yara. Fàbregas can play the ball away. And now there's room here for Santi Cazorla to try and exploit for Spain. Run made by Soldado. Might fall for Soldado here via the ricochet, but the whistle's gone. I think Vidal's been penalised for a handball. I think Spain there might have preferred the advantage, Steve.
Yeah, he had his arm up. Danny saying it hit him in the chest, but Santi Cazorla was trying to switch it wide. That's what he's given it for.
He was in Soldado, wasn't he?
Yeah, as you can see here, his arm's up. Ball ricochets through.
So Spain have the set piece, the free kick following the handball by Arturo Vidal. We'll see what Xavi can conjure. No real problem for the Chile defence, and they'll try and counter-attack now through Alexis Sánchez. That should be okay for Victor Valdez.
The better ball, though, Darren, it's on, isn't it? They break really, really well, the Chileans.
It's a bit brittle defensively, Spain.
They do.
That's for sure. Good hold-up play by Soldado, but Spain can't keep possession. I always get the impression that Spain need the tempo a little higher than it is at the moment. That seems to suit Chile, doesn't it? The fact that it's a little bit slower.
Yeah, I agree. I think you see the best of the Spanish when it is at a higher tempo. And someone sets the tempo. Normally it's a Xavi or an Iniesta when they play together. Busquets likes to get on it. But because they've made so many changes, the game's a lot slower. Javi Garcia slows the game down slightly.
Spain did arrive here with a couple of injuries. Isco and David Silva unavailable for tonight's game. The David Silva injury may well have an impact on Manchester City at the weekend, but the likes of David Villa, Jesús Navas available off the bench if needed. And they might be the way this game has started, because it's anything but a fluent performance by the world and European champions. Let's see what Fàbregas can do. Not the usual range of options, though, for the Spanish player who's in possession of the ball. Here's Xavi. Arbeloa, given away by Arbeloa. Symptomatic of Spain's start to the game. Arbeloa wins it back. Here's Fàbregas. Javi Garcia back to Sergio Ramos, who's winning his 111th cap tonight at the age of 27. Youngest player ever to win 100 caps at international level, breaking the record of Lucas Podolski. And you wonder how many the Real Madrid defender might end up with. Soldado to Arbeloa, and then swept forward by Albiol. That's a good ball. This is Cazorla, and now Pedro back towards Cazorla, defended by Mania. Ramos sends it back towards the Chile penalty area, but defensively, no real problems so far for Jorge Sampaoli's side.
No, not at all. And if anything, if there was a little bit of better communication between Cazorla and Pedro could have turned, opened his body up and maybe got a shot off himself. Elected for the 1-2, and the 1-2 wasn't there.
One more win against either Belarus or Georgia, and that will guarantee Spain's place in Brazil next summer as the winners of Group I. They were drawn in the same group as France, and they've got a victory and a draw against the French side, so one more win from the final two fixtures, and Del Bosque's side are there. And it's a virtual certainty as well that Chile will join them in Brazil. They've qualified very impressively in South America, and you can see why on the evidence of this opening 22.5 minutes. They've been the equal of Spain and the better of them in many departments. Here's Mauricio Isla, one of the key men in the Juventus side, who'll be in the Champions League this season. Pizarro of Fiorentina. Big turn by Alexis Sánchez, good feet as well by the Barcelona man, ran into Arbeloa. Diaz can play the ball into space. The target, Alexis Sánchez, away by Albiol. There's Eugenio Mania. Now Pizarro. Mania's made a good run down the left here for Chile. Just able to stretch to cross, but comfortable defending for Spain, but certainly likes to get forward down the left. Vidal's now won it back. And here's an opportunity in the centre maybe for Alexis Sánchez. And it goes right through the 6-yard box. It was almost a second goal for Chile. Isla it was with the cross, and the Spanish defence all over the place again.
All over the place yet again, but what a gorgeous ball by Vidal. Look at that, looking one way, flips it at the other. If anything, it's Alexis Sanchez's poor first ball, doesn't get the pace on it. Monreal cuts it out. But you said it, 6s and 7s, whether it's behind Monreal, behind Arbeloa, so flat.
The touch by Victor Valdez, extremely important to steer the ball away from Alexis Sánchez. The danger's still not clear because they've got this corner now, Chile. And concerns for Del Bosque. Valdez able to come through the crowd, and Cazorla can play the ball away, only to Mauricio Isla. Isla again. Collides with Ramos inside the penalty area. Isla stayed down.
He has to be careful, Sergio Ramos there. I think if Isla was a little bit braver, Darren, he could have won a penalty there. It seemed to just turn us back at the last moment.
Well, he's still down, Mauricio. Isla. The game will carry on with him stricken inside the Spanish penalty area.
I don't think the challenge looked particularly bad. Looks like he's just a little bit winded.
He certainly looks it. So the big games will keep coming on BT Sport in the next few days as we see the Ramos challenge on Isla, which was just a collision. I don't think there's any thought that that might have been a penalty, Steve.
I think there,
maybe.
Darren, Isla just ducks out of it.
Yeah.
He feels as if Sergio Ramos is going to come across. I think maybe if he was a little bit braver and went forwards with his head, if he heads that forward, Sergio Ramos is in the air, he's going to collide with him. But maybe because it's a friendly game, he just thought he'd stay away, and he got a hit for his troubles.
So the big games will keep coming on BT Sport. This coming Saturday, we're back in the Barclays Premier League with Manchester United against Crystal Palace. It's a 12:45 kickoff. We're on air at 11:30 on BT Sport 1 as newly promoted Crystal Palace travel to Old Trafford to face the champions Manchester United. Wonder whether Isla will actually be able to carry on in the match. I certainly won't want to risk him on a night like this, which is only a friendly, of course. Juventus will want him back for the Italian league campaign, fit and well. In the meantime, it's Spain really trying to get a foothold in the match because they trail, and they've not tested Claudio Bravo at all in the Chile goal as yet. It's a good run by Nacho Monreal, but the pass again is not up to the required standard and not up to the sort of standard we've become used to seeing from Spain.
No, not at all, no. And how frustrated must he be? Made a lovely unselfish run around Pedro, wanting an easy pass. Pedro knocks it out of play. Very frustrating night all in all at the moment.
Pedro's been in good form to start the season for Barcelona. 2 goals in his first 5 games. Got a good scoring record as well as an international. 13 goals on the night that he wins his 33rd Spanish cap. I think there was a thought that he might be one of the players who might get caught in the shuffle, Pedro, with Neymar arriving, and that was a mistake by Claudio Bravo. Well, it wasn't a bobble, he just took his eye off it.
Okay. That's what Sampaoli thinks of it.
I'm not sure whether Bravo is what they're going to be saying to the Chilean goalkeeper after that, to be honest. Spain will try and punish them from the corner. Here's Sergio Ramos. That's blocked by Yara. To be a throw. He was almost the first one on the Christmas video, wasn't he, Claudio Bravo?
He pointed at the floor, so it must have been a bobble.
It's the usual excuse.
Of course.
I think we can see quite clearly on the picture that there's no bobbly area of the goal now.
Yeah.
Little back heel by Arbeloa to Xavi, who just strayed offside.
But again there, Darren, you have to give credit to the Chilean side. They pushed right out there, caught Xavi offside. You know, that's not on, this has come from a corner, you know, that's high up there, very organised.
It's a surprise really that Spain's defence has been so porous in the early stages of this match, bearing in mind that Brazil, in the Confederations Cup final, the only team to score against this Spanish side in their last 6 matches, whether it be a friendly or a competitive game. I know they've made 1 or 2 changes tonight, but certainly don't seem to be anywhere near as solid as they usually are.
No.
I think they get a lot of credit, don't they, for the way they play, but it's built on very solid foundations,
yes.
This success for Spain.
And also after the Confederations Cup, their defeat to Brazil, you know, the Spanish media were saying, you know, you have to bring in the new players, you have to bring in a lot of new players, and you know, sometimes you don't have to bring in the new players all the time, the younger players, because these players are superstars.
Here is Victor Valdés of Barcelona, only his 17th cap for Spain tonight. Position's been dominated by Real Madrid's Iker Casillas. It's on a good ball by Valdés.
No, actually, he's kicked a few out of play, Victor Valdez.
So sloppy, aren't they, Spain? So sloppy.
It must be incredibly frustrating for the manager and the staff, because he knows that this side are a much better outfit than they've shown this evening.
Isla seems okay, following the collision with Sergio Ramos. Here's Xavi. It's a poor layoff by Fàbregas. Given away to Arbeloa. Albiol to Sergio Ramos, and then Javi Garcia. See the pressure, though, that's being applied by the front players of Chile, forcing the ball back to Victor Valdez. Fàbregas towards Pedro. Pedro can't make any headway. Pizarro. Vidal looking for the run of Vargas, and Victor Valdez will just keep that ball in play.
See, like that, whenever the ball goes forward, yes, it was a foul, but there is white shirts all around. If anything comes off there, you see there's 2 white shirts right on Soldado, just in case he kept the ball, and that, you know, that's just hard work from your teammates. That's organisation from the manager, and they're putting a really good performance in Chile. The big question is, will they be able to keep it going for 90 minutes when Del Bosque makes changes with the Spanish side?
Soldado chased the lost cause, was able to beat Yara to the ball, but it doesn't bring anything profitable for Spain. Soldado, who's started off at Tottenham with a couple of goals, both of them penalties. There's Iniesta among the Spanish subs tonight. David Villa is also available. Jesús, Navas. Certainly don't lack for options, do they, on the Spanish bench? Only problem that Claudio Bravo has had so far was almost of his own doing. The Chile captain, who's yet to make a save, which you don't often say 32 minutes into a game involving Spain.
Well, he's hardly touched the ball full stop. This is possibly his easiest 32 minutes he's ever had in international football.
Plays his club football for Real Sociedad, does Claudio Bravo, so he'll be up against Manchester United in the Champions League this season. Only needs another 11 caps after tonight to become the all-time leader in terms of international caps for Chile. Just get the impression that this game probably means a bit more to the Chilean players than it does the Spanish ones.
Yeah, that's the impression I get. You see Pizarro, Vidal, even though they play their football in Italy, Darren, it looks as if they're more hungry. I know it's a strange thing to say, but they're closing down, and their work ethic tonight has been brilliant.
There's Fàbregas. Denied the opportunity to turn, but he finds a bit more space. Plays it back towards Javi Garcia and then Sergio Ramos, but the majority of the time Spain try to come forward, have to go backwards in the end because of just how well they're being pressed by Chile in midfield. Hardly seen Santi Cazorla. Here's Arbeloa, now Xavi.
It's excellent pressing, isn't it? Excellent.
Well, it shows you can slow Spain down if you get your tactics right. You've got the desire to work harder, which is exactly what Chile are doing, and they give away the free kick. But really is impressive how they're buzzing around the Spanish players when they've got the ball. Here's Xavi. Little layoff by Soldado, which didn't find the target. Soldado again. Now Cazorla. Soldado's made a run into the penalty area. That's where Cazorla was looking, but not quite the direction, but better from Spain, better movement. Better
vision as well by Cazorla. Pass wasn't perfect, but it was nice movement at least by Soldado.
There's an offside flag up against Alexis Sánchez, which...
Well, that looked quite close as well.
Didn't it?
It looked quite close, yeah.
I do sometimes say that football teams mirror their manager. I certainly get the impression that this Chile team is exactly mirroring the personality of Sampaoli, the coach. Here's Pizarro. Diaz can find Medel, and then Gonzalez. There is Cardiff City's Gary Medel. Out towards Mauricio Isla. Now Vidal. Vidal again. Space here for Yara. It's a nice flow about Chile when they get the possession. Pizarro. Isla following the ricochet. Touched off by Alexis Sánchez, but Spain have it back again with Cazorla, but they don't keep it very well. Chile quickly in to win it back again. Well, they'll try and stretch Spain. Pizarro. It's good pressing by Fàbregas. Vargas to Vidal. And then Vidal looks for the run here of Isla, who's ever willing to get forward down the right. Vargas with the shot, which he didn't connect with. And that's comfortable for Valdez.
Again, nice play. Lovely ball by Vidal. Pull back to Vargas, just doesn't catch hold of it. But it was an opportunity for him. It was just a connection.
Further evidence, though, Macca, that when they do get forward, Chile, they've got that cutting edge in the final third, something we've not seen at all from Spain.
We have to be honest. Yeah, we have to be honest, Dan. They're getting forward quite easily as well, aren't they? The flank is quite comfortable to go past Arbeloa, and that time Monreal again. This is what I like, that closing down there, that biting, not allowing them any time at all, Spain. And if they do get into any fluid motion, the Chileans just give little fouls away all the time just to break it up.
Let's see what Pedro can do. That's a good ball in, and it's an equaliser. Roberto Soldado, genuine quality from Pedro, and a bullet header from the Spurs striker.
Would that be the first bit of quality we've seen tonight from the Spanish side? And look how easy they can score a goal. Soldado being largely ineffective tonight. Pedro the same. And then in a split second they combine to do this. Wonderful cross in. Swinging away from Bravo, the goalkeeper. Roberto Soldado does not miss them. Thankfully, looks as if Spain are back in the groove.
Seventh goal for Spain for Roberto Soldado on the night he wins his 12th cap for his country. Gary Medel's not the tallest of central defenders, and it was pretty evident from the moment the ball left the boot of Pedro that Soldado had got a big advantage at the far post. But he tucked it away, and Spain are back on level terms despite being outplayed in the main for the first 38 minutes of this game in Geneva.
Well, hopefully that's the kickstart now for Spain to really step up the tempo and go forward. Maybe that was the spark that'll spring them into action.
Let's see how Chile respond. Here's Isla, and a really good game. The fullback so far. Great desire to get forward. Well, there's a foul by Garcia on Vidal. Javi Garcia, who's tended to play as a centre-back in the Manchester City side. He's in the centre of the Spanish midfield tonight. Arturo Vidal scored against Venezuela on Friday. Been one of the key men in Juventus' rise back to the top of the Italian game with multiple Serie A championships, and with the addition of Carlos Tevez and Llorente, might well be able to make an impact in the Champions League this season as well. Here's the free kick for Chile, which was aimed towards Alexis Sánchez, and Arbeloa in position to do enough. There's the veteran David Pizarro.
It must have been a set move, that Alexis Sánchez spinning to the far post. He must have thought he could get the better of Arbeloa.
Holds around 30,000, the stadium here in Geneva, the Stade de Genève. But nowhere near full tonight for this friendly international, but seems to be what Spain do these days when they've got a break from a qualifier. That like to play South American opposition. They've had friendly matches against the likes of Uruguay, and they played Panama as well, and Ecuador. This is Yara. All kinds of space moving forward for Mania, who was fouled by Arbeloa. Don't see anywhere near that kind of space when Spain are in possession. Diaz, that's sloppy. Here's Soldado, the Spanish goal scorer. Now Fàbregas. Space here for Fàbregas. Well, hits the woodwork. Now Pedro. It's a let-off for Chile. Surely it was a cross by Fàbregas.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I was just about to ask you, do you think he meant that? That looked as if it was a little swinger with his left foot, I think that was.
I got the word shank in my mind, but I didn't like to say it. But it almost brought Spain a second goal. In the meantime, here come Chile. The flag's up against Mauricio Isla.
Yeah, he didn't need to be offside, actually, Isla. All that space.
Been one of Chile's better players, though, in the first half, hasn't he, the Juventus man? There's the header away by Albiol. Cazorla battling for possession. Arbeloa comes away with it. Here's Marcelo Diaz. Vargas, the man who got the Chile goal. Now Pizarro. Lots of work in the first half on the left-hand side for Forrest Gonzalo. Yara. It's floated in towards Vargas, away by Ramos. There's Fàbregas. Cazorla. Had no time at all on the ball, Santi Cazorla. Well, a bit of frustration there from Fàbregas on Vidal, and it's going to be a yellow card for Cesc Fàbregas.
Yeah, you're right, frustration, wasn't it? Vidal closed Fàbregas down, then he went and closed Santi Cazorla down. And Cesc Fàbregas gave him a little bit there, a little bit of retribution, right down the back of his calf onto his Achilles. It's a nasty one.
I know the referees like to keep the cards in the pocket if they can on a night like this, a friendly international, but he got no real choice with that, had he?
No, you could see he was after him.
There's Gary Medel, who was out-jumped by Soldado for the Spanish equaliser. Pizarro back towards Medel, who was man of the match in Cardiff's 3-2 win against Manchester City in their second game back in the Barclays Premier League. Play as a midfield player for Malky Mackay, but a centre-back in this Chile side. That's towards Vargas, who rolls away from Albiol, and he's in here, Vargas, and it's 2-1 to Chile, and didn't he take that goal well?
What a lovely goal. All you budding centre forwards out there, have a look at this lovely turn by Vargas. Lovely incisive passing, feels Albiol, turns. Arbeloa closed him down, but he's there first. It was a clinical finish. Lovely, lovely goal. And let's be honest, they deserve to be ahead in the first half of this game. They've been the most impressive side by far.
There's the same celebration we saw when he scored his first goal. It's now into double figures as an international. 10 goals. It's his 23rd cap tonight. It's a decent strike rate, isn't it? 1 in 2 at international level. But we've seen tonight with that particular finish there just how deadly he can be. Eduardo Vargas. And I think deservedly Chile back ahead because they've been the better team.
Yes, they have. I totally agree with you, Darren. I've been very impressed by the Chilean side. And look at the manager rallying his troops again, Sampaoli.
Chile happy just to keep the possession towards the end of the first half. That's been very good for them. That will be a Chile throw following the touch by Nacho Monreal. Isla forward to take it for Chile. Gets it back from Vidal. Here's Alexis Sánchez. Always draws a crowd, doesn't he, Alexis Sánchez? And wants the free kick. The official's not interested.
Lovely play by him, wasn't it?
It was, and it brings to an end a first half in which Chile showed us just how good they can be. They took the lead early in the first half. Eduardo Vargas with his 6th goal of the season after the Spanish defence were stood like statues. Soldado equalised with a bullet header before Vargas scored his 2nd goal to give Chile the half-time lead.